I don't know where this is going, but I just heard it was okay until they found out about that. It was okay until they found out about that. How about that? How about that? How about that? How about that? Hey, how about that? Don't mind me. I go through these changes sometimes. When I feel these moments, I just have to say it. I could be quiet about it if I choose to, but I just want it to be out. Okay? I could do that in this space with you guys, right? I have my moments. Just let it out. Just let it out. Let it be free. Floods. It was okay until they found out about that. What is that? What is that? I was just listening to Floods by Lucky Day, right? Yeah. And I paused it to actually give you this message because I thought I was done, but I have another message. And it's very, I don't know what it is yet. Let's find out together, shall we? Okay, so it was okay until they found out about that. I started singing, how about that? How about that? Floods. What is this? Water. It's the water. Is this about the water? Emotional. I'm emotional. I'm hearing music in my head. What song is that? Carl Thomas. What is that song about? I'm trying to hold on to, though it hurts me so, and I can't let go. Tell me how you know, say goodbye. What is that noise? I don't like that. Oh, I think somebody's driving with a they're driving on a flat. It sounds like they're on the rim. I'm trying to connect these dots because there's a lot going on right now. So bear with me, okay? Knew you ain't had a friend. Okay, someone is nervous about love. I think this is what it is because I was just listening to Floods, and I heard it was okay until they found out about that. It just feels like nervous energy. That's what it feels like to me. It feels nervous, and I heard unfiltered, nervous energy. I feel like somebody has a very direct way of thinking and speaking, and this could be a future person. Put the person where they fit for you, but I just heard future person. Okay, but it's like you're going to meet someone that is very well versed. I'm hearing well versed with dealings in relationships. I've never worded it that way, but that's what they've been through a lot with people. Okay, that's what I'm getting. Okay, this person has been through a lot with people in relationships, and there's something about now that has shifted within them where they've made a decisive choice. I feel like this is one thing that they were often very indecisive about. There's something here where this person is usually very straightforward and decisive, but in this space of relationships, this is where this person has been not so decisive. I feel like they lived more in flow. I just heard in flow. They live more in flow. I just heard something, but like it doesn't have anything to do with this. It's so random. Sorry, don't mind me. Escúchame, okay, for my moments. I'm probably like, what is she thinking about now? Yeah, but like I was saying, indecisive when it comes to relationships, because that's one thing that they weren't so about. They weren't trying to like, I just like control it so much. That's one thing that they didn't have any desire to feel that they needed to do that in that area. But I'm hearing that's where it was needed. Okay. Something also about them not truly expressing their full self. They may have said certain things, but there's something about this person in a relationship to where they might not completely say everything that's on their mind all the time, but they actually should. I heard as long as it's respectable. As long as it's respectful, it's not anything crazy where they might, go, I heard jump off the deep end. Okay. That's what I'm getting. Okay. I'm getting that. Okay. So this person is nervous about relationships, yet they do want one. Okay. And I feel like this is something that happens to many people because relationships are not like a walk in the park. You do have to put work in. You do have to, there's times where you have to consider compromising, listening. You have to be a good listener, good communicator. You have to be understanding, loyal, respectful. I mean, at least if you want it to work. There has to be love there. I mean, of course, there doesn't have to be. But again, if you want it to work, there's things that are needed to be infused. Infused. I like that word. Infusion. Infusion. Okay, this person has gone through so much that they question if it's actually possible for them to actually be able to receive everything that they want in a person. And I heard the sea is getting empty. The sea is getting empty. I think that just means like there's not many fish in the sea. You know that saying? There's more fish in the sea. Not the type this person wants. This person has a very, very particular. Maybe they've adjusted their requirements, their desires, their expectations. Maybe they've adjusted it a little bit, but at the same time, there's something. It's like core. I heard core values. Core values. Everything else can be worked on later. They're not so rigid anymore. There's something about this rigidity that they had before to where it was just like if a person didn't hit all the boxes, it didn't work. It's like they said it though, but they didn't do it or something. Something like they would say that, but then they would get someone that would meet the most surface level checkpoints for them or desires from them. But when it came to the core values, they would ease up on them. They wouldn't be so rigid when it comes to that. And this was what really affected them in a very harsh way, because they've dealt with unnecessary circumstances so many times due to their I don't know why I wanted to say preservation, but that's not what I wanted to say, what I was about to say. But due to their perspective, their way of thinking, their mental, it caused a lot of problems for them. So now it's like their mind has grown. Their way of thinking has grown. And they're more open. Like they allow possibilities more so than just looking at things that don't mean as much as core values. It feels like this person got stuck in vain. Got stuck in vain. I wanted to say vanity. Got stuck in vain. Got stuck in vain. Got stuck in vain. Where'd my phone go? It's probably on the charger. Un momento. Okay, so I heard they got stuck in vain. Oh, well, I'm gonna just leave it. I just want to see what it says though. Stuck in vein. Blood clot. Vein cause pain. Vein cause pain, that rhymes. Stuck in vein, stuck in vein. Pain. Okay, you know how I bring this up sometime, but it's coming up again. Good girls like bad guys, and the bad guys are the ones that just breaking hearts. I heard Georgie Porgy pudding pie, kiss the girls and make them cry. Kiss the girls. Oh, oh, kiss the girls. That's Faith Evans. Yeah. Or like a guy that, you know, some men, they're attracted to toxic women. And I don't know if people actually talk about this or not, because I know they probably have podcasts that only talk about these things, but I seen it in my real life, so that's what I'm talking about it, because I see it when it happens. Like, sometimes people are just, sometimes men are attracted to toxic women, and some women are attracted to toxic men. But that's just because they haven't balanced out they're not whole. They haven't balanced out their darkness and their light side. Oh, so this person has grown from that mindset. This is what this message is about, really. They have grown from this perspective of allowing themselves to just be attracted to the physical and completely negating the core values that are most important to them. And maybe some of you have done this as well, where you're like, if you don't got it, I don't want it. And I'm talking about the core values, not, but you really want everything. You don't want to like look over on the bed when you wake up in the morning and see like something monstrous. You do want to see something that's attractive, right? And I feel like that's fine. But really what it's about is the core values. And it's like, I heard be patient. Somebody learned patience. And patience is hard. We all know that. We all know how difficult patience is. When we go to a place and we have to wait on a line, it's like, why? Why is this line even here? How about I snap my fingers and everybody disappear? I do it and then I snap them back and then I leave out the door and everybody else online. That's how it feels sometimes. You just want to do what you got to do and leave. But no, you have to wait sometime, and that's just what it is. So we have to learn that patience. We have to learn that in all aspects of life, to be patient. But once you learn patience, it's not so difficult to wait, because you know that good things are worth waiting for. Good things are worth waiting for. So much better than a flood. The flood. I was just listening to Floods by Lucky Day. Floods. Speaking to the mic, baby. You can't see. Makes me want to fight lately. Okay. So with with the floods coming in, it's like with the floods coming in. This person went through a lot of floods. And when I say that, I mean, it could have been physical floods, but that's not really what I'm getting. I think it's more so of like emotional from those that they've been with, because they were in a space of detachment. At least that's what I'm getting right now. This message feels a little wavy, you know, sometimes this happens when we're talking about floods, but it does feel wavy every now and again. Sometimes it feels like connecting constellations, but then sometimes it feels wavy. This one feels wavy. Yeah, so this person has had to deal with a lot of hot-tempered people, especially in relationships, and it's a result of their perspective. And once they realize that they must change their perspective, which could have been recently, they're noticing what the problem was, you know. They're noticing what the problem was, and now that they realize it, they're activating the aspect of them that could resolve the problem. That the problems that were reproduced. The problems that were reproduced. So now they're in this like gray area. It feels like a gray area of moving but not knowing, and having faith. It feels like faith. It feels like faith. Faith without works is dead. They putting in a work, but now they have to use their faith. That's what I get. You know, with most of these messages is somebody having faith, but not putting in the work, right? But in this message, it's the other way around. This person is putting in the work, but they have to find their faith. Not find it, but activate it. They know where it's at. They just have to be bold enough to activate it. Activate. Yes. This is one of those activation moments where there's so many aspects of self throughout our life cycles that needs to be activated. And this person is going through yet another activation. And it's because I heard they want to be whole for you. They want to be whole. They do not want to be incremental. They do not want to be a lacking part taker. I never said that before. A lacking part taker? This looks like a, when I put it this way, it looks like something that brands, like a branding. I don't know what you call that thing. It's hot. Someone is being responsible enough to not want to approach you in partiality, if that's the correct way to say this. I feel like it is. Partiality. Let's see. Am I using that properly? I don't know. I think so. We could find out together. Maybe I'm making stuff up. I like playing with words. Okay. Yeah, partiality. I'm saying it properly. I just don't say that much. So I had to make sure, you know. That's how you expand your vocabulary that way. I tell my daughter that too. Like, if there's a word you don't know it, look it up real quick. Make sure you know it so you could keep it in your brain. Unfair bias in favor of one thing unfair bias in favor of one thing or person compared with another. Favoritism. Fair. This person wants to be fair with you. I feel as though there's times in their past where they did not behave in such a fair way. I heard they're being a ruffian. Who is out there being a ruffian? A ruffian. A roughneck. I need a roughneck. I gotta get a roughneck. A ruffian. Oh. I never looked up the meaning to that, but it says a violent criminal or troublemaker. So, someone was being a troublemaker, but they're no longer a troublemaker. No, they're a reformed gangstar. Reformed, but they still understand. And you know, I think that that's like one of the best people around, just because it's that well-roundedness of the dark and the light. That's whole. That is wholeness, and that is really the purpose of the soul, to understand wholeness amongst actually living out the expression, of wholeness. It's one thing to just say, yes, I'm whole, but you must also act in such a way as well. The actions have to match the belief. Because if they don't match, then there's something wrong. It's not adding up. It's not aligned. Because if you believe something, you act in such a way. If you are just saying you believe and you don't take the action to apply it, then it's just words. It's not real. It removes the validity of the statement. Yes. Okay. So this person, I heard, I right my wrongs by choosing to do right. Yes. And that's us. That's life. That's what we go through. That's what we go through, because we have to learn from what we've done. And so it was okay until they found out about this. Oh. What? It was okay until they found out about this. About what? That was the first message. That's how it came to me. I think it came like that. Like, it was okay until they found out about this. And then there was a question mark. I think it was just like the truth of the matter. You know, that realization that comes over you when you realize what you can do to improve. And you're like, oh, gosh. So it wasn't like just that person, it was me too. You know? Because we make mistakes, and especially in romantic relationships, we make mistakes. And I just feel like that when this person got the realization, it struck a chord or a few within this person's heart space. And then it was like, damn, that was me. I actually did that. Because I feel like we don't really know what we're doing at certain times in our life until we realize it. Because as a younger person, you just kind of go along with your environment until you don't. And I feel like this person went through that. So now you are going to end up connecting with someone who has much experience. And they're going to take the experience that they've learned. I heard you get the finished product. You get the finished product. Without defects. You get the finished product without defects. So you don't get like the person that has to be tweaked. You get the person that is actually at the best that they've ever been. Even if there's more that they feel that they want to fix, or that you see that they could work on or whatever, you are being blessed with the most authentic version of this person. And I don't feel like many people get to say that, because quite frankly, many people don't even reach their authenticity in a lifetime. Or maybe let me just say, in this lifetime, there's many people that won't reach that stage or phase in their life. So it is a blessing to anyone who actually is aligned and begins to communicate with one that they are actually truly aligned with according to their most authentic self. Because that means that they will live within their wholeness and they won't be hiding anything. Anytime one is able to live without feeling like they have to hide or hiding, they are free and they are whole and they are just honest. They're themselves, and they don't have a reason to worry about an outcome that could come about from them being who they truly are. They won't fear showing their person who they are because they know that that person understands them. I think that is the most freeing relationship that one can be in. And that is the relationship that all should strive for if you want to be in a relationship. Because anything less than that is chaos and stress, and could get as far as depression and feeling a sense of unworthiness. When you're with someone that's not meant for you, they can quickly make you feel unworthy. And that's just because they don't know their worth. Look how simple that is. There's so many questions that I used to have when I was younger. And now that I'm older and have experience and I paid attention, the answers are so simple. I don't know, it's just, life is funny like that. We go through all of these things, and then to come to a point of just the simplicity, that's amazing to me. Things that are so difficult have a solution that is so simple. I just feel like sometimes people think it's too simple to be true, and they just reject a solution. Or it's like, what else was I gonna say? Too simple to be true. And then so simple that it almost feels like I'm going to say the same thing, but it's like, it's so simple that you don't think about it. I think that's the best way for me to say the second part. It's so simple that you don't even consider that when you're going through something to where you could use that simple solution, but you don't even think about it because it's so simple that it's like you're going to feel like that it doesn't make sense, but it does. Just like being around toxic people and knowing that there comes a time when you're around toxic people and you begin to elevate, your soul begins to cry, and you're like, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to be around these people. I can't. I don't feel right. Okay, you feel that, and then many times you still stick around because you're familiar. It's a familiar space, right? But then there comes a time when you realize, well, how about I just don't spend that much time with them, or just recognize that I'm not in alignment with them and stop being around them completely. Then you realize how good you feel. Then you realize how toxic these people were in your life and how their projections were holding you down. And it's like, if I had to just detach myself from these individuals a long time ago, then I would have been fine. So it's like, there's times where we force ourselves to stay in a stagnant situation just because we feel like we should, based off of titles of who people are in our life, not realizing that it's hurting us being around these people. So I feel like the both of you have recognized this, but how the message has come to me is the simple fact that this individual that is interested in you is definitely going through this heightened understanding on an emotional level that they did not have before. And it has released them from the bondage of confusion. And it's almost to say that, okay, they're ready now. Like, okay, now this message is not going to be for everyone. It is quite specific. But if somebody comes back around and they just new, they brand new, you're like, oh, wait, who that? Oh, who that? And then you're like, oh, that's you. Oh, something's different. What's this part? This is new. It's like now they're all new and shiny. They've been shined up. I heard looking real moisturized. But yeah, it's like many of you are going to encounter someone, even if it's not like a person from your past. This is someone that has had a heavy past, and they've been through a lot. They had a lot of experiences, a lot of lessons, that I feel like there's something about reflecting on things that they didn't reflect on before that actually needed. There's experiences that needed reflection from them. And I feel like they've been giving those moments the reflection that is needed for their true nature to shine through. You know, these things are uncomfortable, but they're necessary, and they create that wholeness. And it's just a beautiful feeling to finally let go of things that have been weighing down on a heart, on the chest, on the mind for so long. I heard things that could make your stomach drop. It just feels deep. It feels like deep reflection. Moments in time of confusion. Thinking you are supposed to do one thing and then realizing later you're supposed to do another. And then faulting yourself for it because now you're actually awake. You know what to do. Your consciousness is activated. So it's like, that's the point where you must forgive yourself. You must forgive self at that point. And just know, I'm not going to do that again. As long as you know that you're not going to do those things again, then you know that you're whole now. The only reason why all the craziness was happening before was because this individual, and it could be you as well, was living a life of impartiality. I think I said partiality before, but impartiality just came out. Let me look that up real quick. Equal treatment of all rivals or disputants, fairness. Okay, so no, I meant partiality. But now, okay, so their life has gone from moving in a sense of partiality, but now they've transitioned into equal treatment of all rivals or disputants, fairness, impartiality. Disputants would be, in this case, in relationships. They would have disputes in relationships is what Spirit has given me. But now they don't look at relationships the same. Now they want things to be equal. They don't look at things from a perspective of partiality anymore. And if this message is for you, like if you were in this mindset, you've grown. It could be you or the other person, but it's like it's flipping. It's almost like I see a coin flip. You know when somebody flicks a coin up and it flip, 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 flip. And then when it falls, it's spinning. And then it fell. But it fell down in a dark room, but the coin was real shiny. It was very shiny, but it's in a dark room, and then there's a spotlight on it. And it looks like a gold penny. It's a penny, but it's gold. That's what I just saw. This person had a lot on their mind. I heard something like their mind was heavier than gold. But now their heart is as light as a feather. Their mind was heavier than gold, but now their heart is as light as a feather. Her hard-headed. Okay, somebody was like real. Somebody was very they didn't let anything in. That's what it feels like. It feels like this person, they knew everything. That nobody could teach them anything. I feel like this is this person's energy, how it used to be. But the more they grew and the more they learned, they opened up and they stopped that way of thinking because they realized what it was doing to their life. And they've grown so beautifully. You've grown beautifully. It's like, this is a message of growth. That's what it feels like. It feels like a beautiful message of growth, appreciation, and knowledge that is long lasting. Like, this is knowledge that can be passed down. These are the types of things that need to be taught in families. You know, like the dark night of the soul. Oh my gosh, imagine if they taught that in school. Do you know how much clarity that can give a child that's going through all these crazy emotions that they go through? The dark night of the soul needs to be taught in school. This is real. Like, that stage in life is so challenging when you go through that. You know? These are things that need to be taught to children at a young age so that they understand, and even preventative measures if you can when it comes to certain things. But that's just a thought. That's a side note. Yeah, but this message is about growth and how far you've come and how all of this was well worth it, even though it was a challenge, but the gifts are so sweet, like the blessings that come after, the sunshine that comes after the rain. I heard everybody loves the sunshine. Ding, 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 ding. Yeah. Sunshine. I've been calling my nephew Sunshine lately. He just looked like the sunshine to me. He's a little bright little boy. I just be calling him Sunshine. He like that. He be blushing. I'm like, hi, Sunshine. But anyway, I think that's it for this reading. Now I'm hearing you are my sunshine, my only. I hear that all the time. You make me happy when skies are gray. You never know, dear, how much I love you. So please don't take my sunshine away. You are someone's sunshine. I feel like you are, I heard you are going to get the version of this person that everybody else wanted. And it's because you deserve it. There's something about you deserving someone who is whole. Because whoever I'm talking to has done a lot of work on themselves. So you deserve to be with someone who is whole just as you are. And just by you knowing that you're whole, it gives you the open door to then be aligned with someone who is also whole. Because a whole person is going to reject many and only accept one, because they will know. And they're like, okay, hey, let's go. Let's go. Okay, that's it for this message. Everything you do, do it with love. Always remember the creator is in you and the magic is too, because you're magic. I'll see you in the next message.